Stop chasing money. It's not about working harder, it's about your first 10 minutes of the day. Most people wake up in a state of scarcity mode, blocking their own abundance without even knowing it. But if you shift your mental frequency right now, you can activate what the ancients called the hidden treasures of the mind. I'm about to show you the exact sequence to rewire your brain for unexpected provision before you even finish your coffee. Don't scroll, your identity is about to change. Have you ever woken up with that strange feeling that no matter how hard you try, you're always playing catch-up? As if there were an invisible ceiling blocking your provision and preventing open doors from finally appearing in front of you. The truth may be uncomfortable, but it needs to be said. If your very first thought of the day is a bill you need to pay or the fear of lack, you are training your brain to be a magnet for problems, not for solutions. In this video, I'm going to show you that abundance is not a stroke of luck, but a frequency you tune into during the first 10 minutes of your morning. We're going to break the narrative that life has to feel heavy and burdensome, because I believe in a blessing without sorrow, one that brings peace while channels of provision multiply. Get ready, because what I'm about to teach you about mental reprogramming goes far beyond positive thinking. This is about stepping into your true prosperous identity. I know you've heard plenty of empty promises out there, but this is a mentor-to-mentee conversation, grounded, practical, and aligned with divine direction. If you're tired of knocking on closed doors, this guide is your concrete step toward changing levels today. Stay with me and discover how to activate the hidden treasures within your own mind, turning every morning into a powerful alliance with your success. No magic formulas, just clarity and quiet courage. Waking up and tuning your mind to the source is the first step to ensuring your day isn't just a series of random events. This morning alliance works like a spiritual GPS, establishing a divine direction that keeps you from getting lost in urgent matters that produce no real fruit. It's the moment to make a commitment with what is higher, recognizing that your provision doesn't come solely from physical effort, but from intimate connection. To implement this, you don't need hours, just a micro step of surrender as soon as you open your eyes, before you even touch your phone. Try saying softly, "Today, my prosperous identity is established in our union." This simple, concrete gesture creates a barrier against stress and opens space for peace of mind to govern your decisions, allowing you to walk with firm gentleness through every task of your day. A practical example I often give my men's is to dedicate the first 5 minutes to reading a passage from The Greatest Salesman in the World by O.G. Mandino, especially the scrolls about love and habit. By doing this, you establish an internal order that prepares the ground for the hidden treasures the day holds. This morning practice lays the foundation for receiving the favor needed to turn every challenge into a clear opportunity for growth. Understanding how life works requires seeing your day as fertile soil, where every action is an intentional seed. There is no magic here. What you plant in your mental workshop and in your practical actions determines the size of your future harvest. When you act with diligence and generosity, you're not just working, you're activating a universal alliance that guarantees a return that is inevitable and proportional to what you've sown. A common mistake is wanting to harvest where no time or energy was ever invested, hoping for unexpected money without preparing the ground. True multiplication happens when you decide to be a giver of value, serving people with excellence and staying focused on your defined purpose. Think of it as a daily micro-step. When you plant excellence in small things, abundant provision becomes the natural and organic result of your journey. In practice, I recommend that you begin sowing today by honoring what you already have, studying works like The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. As you study and apply these principles, you begin to see every interaction as a chance to plant a seed of favor and goodwill. Remember, the harvest is a promise, but the sowing is your responsibility, and it requires persistence and a clear vision of where you want to go. Your very first thought when you wake up acts like the master of ceremonies for your entire day, setting the rhythm of your mental frequency. If you open your eyes and immediately give in to worry, you block channels of provision before even getting out of bed. That's why it's essential to take control of your inner language early, deliberately choosing words of gratitude and power that confirm your prosperous identity and your connection to the source. To change this pattern, the key is immediate narrative replacement. Swap: I have so many problems, for I have divine direction to resolve everything with mastery. This is the micro step that separates those who live in constant struggle from those who walk in serenity. By mastering this initial moment, you use autosuggestion to program your subconscious, ensuring that peace of mind becomes the foundation upon which all your goals are built. In practice, I suggest leaving a physical reminder by your bed with a powerful affirmation of victory. Reading a chapter from The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy can give you the technical understanding of how this first thought shapes physical reality. By making this conscious choice, you establish a mental order that attracts open doors, turning your routine into a sequence of victories fueled by unshakable clarity. True wealth is not just a strong bank balance, but the ability to enjoy what you have with complete peace of mind. Many people achieve financial success through anxious effort, but lose their health or family along the way, which is the opposite of a blessing without sorrow. When you understand that the favor of the source enriches without adding pain, you stop accepting crumbs of anxiety and begin attracting prosperity that is light and sustainable. To live this reality, you must practice firm gentleness with money, understanding that it is a servant, not a master. The concrete step here is learning to rest in the certainty of provision, even while working diligently. It's an internal posture shift where serenity replaces desperate urgency, allowing you to see open doors clearly instead of trying to break down walls by sheer force. An excellent resource to deepen this understanding is The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, which teaches the importance of acting in a certain way. By applying this philosophy, you establish order in your priorities, where prosperous identity comes before material possession. As a result, multiplication happens naturally, bringing deep satisfaction that comes not just from accumulation, but from the quality of your journey and your peace of mind. You need to understand that you were not born to live in scarcity. There is a power to acquire wealth that has already been placed within your essence. This power is not brute force, but a combination of divine direction and intellectual capacity to create value in the world. When you connect with the source, your mind becomes a highly productive mental workshop, capable of transforming simple ideas into great channels of provision that bless your life and the lives of others. The secret to activating this power is diligence paired with a defined purpose, moving out of passivity and into focused action. The micro step here is identifying a talent you already have and finding ways to refine it, understanding that multiplication is the natural result of using well what you've been given. By adopting this posture, you stop being a victim of circumstances and become a conscious steward of the hidden treasures God has placed under your responsibility. To expand your vision on this, I strongly recommend Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, which helps you understand the logic of assets and how money can work for you. As you shift your financial mindset, you apply autosuggestion to validate that you are worthy of prosperity, acting in the marketplace with quiet courage. Remember, resources are tools to fulfill your mission. Seek wisdom with the same persistence you seek daily bread, and the doors of abundance will swing wide open. The 3-scene technique is a powerful tool for your mental workshop, allowing you to experience abundance before it physically manifests. The first scene is recognize: close your eyes and see provision arriving. Feel the emotion of an opportunity knocking at your door. This act of imagination is not fantasy, but training your prosperous identity to recognize signs of prosperity offered daily by the world. The second scene is receive. Visualize yourself accepting unexpected money or that promotion with complete serenity and gratitude. Imagine the texture of the paper, the sound of the notification on your phone, and the peace that fills your chest as you realize your bills are paid and overflowing. This is the moment of autosuggestion, where you convince your subconscious that this level of life is already yours by right. The third scene is honor. See yourself using these resources wisely, sowing intentionally, and helping others. Honorable stewardship is what ensures your harvest is sustainable and that open doors remain open. As a practical exercise, I recommend Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain. Start today with just 5 minutes of practice and notice how your mental clarity and focus increase immediately. For abundance to become consistent, you must conduct a complete scan of old beliefs and allow a true renewal of the mind. You can't build a castle of prosperity on foundations of scarcity you've carried for years. This process of narrative replacement requires filtering every thought, discarding fear, and installing an inner language that speaks directly with victory and unlimited provision. The micro-step for this transformation is constant vigilance. Whenever a thought of lack appears, immediately apply one of your power affirmations. Say to yourself, "I am the dwelling place of serenity and divine intelligence." This auto-suggestion exercise works like a mental gym. Repetition builds the strength needed for your prosperous identity to take full command of your actions and reactions in financial challenges. One direct recommendation I always give is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, because mental renewal also involves how you relate to the world and to favor from others. When you change how you see people and yourself, you open channels of provision that were blocked by pride or timidity. Commit to being a lifelong student in your mental workshop, and you'll see external reality bend before a renewed, purpose-driven mind. Faith without movement is just stagnant desire. That's why it's essential to unite divine direction with practical, consistent action. Faith is believing in provision. Works are the daily micro-commitments you make to your success. When you take the smallest inevitable action, you're telling the universe you trust the promise enough to prepare the path for it to arrive. The secret isn't making a giant leap, it's focusing on the micro-step available right now. If you want a new income stream, today's commitment might simply be researching for 15 minutes or organizing your workspace. Diligence in small things creates powerful traction, where persistence eventually breaks barriers and proves that your prosperous identity does not shy away from responsibility. To master the art of consistent action, I recommend Atomic Habits by James Clear. He shows exactly how small adjustments lead to extraordinary results, confirming that order and repetition are keys to multiplication. By honoring your small daily agreements, you develop quiet courage and unshakable self-confidence, knowing every completed task is a seed that will bloom into open doors and real achievements. Prosperity does not flow where there is chaos, but where there is order and respect. Being a good steward of your current provision signals to the source that you are ready to receive more. Financial diligence is not about restriction, but about giving divine direction to every dollar. When you organize your finances, you clear channels for multiplication to happen without resistance. Your practical micro-step today is simple yet transformative. Open your spreadsheet or notebook and record every income and expense with clarity. This concrete act of facing reality with firm gentleness removes fear and installs authority over your finances. You cannot attract hidden treasures if you don't know what's already in your pocket. Clarity is the first step out of survival and into peace of mind. To help structure this mindset, I suggest The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. It teaches that wealth results from simple rules of persistence and economy anyone can apply. By putting your financial house in order, you become a magnet for favor and unexpected money, because the universe entrusts more resources to those who prove faithful stewardship and clear purpose. An authority prayer is not a timid request or fear-based plea, but a conscious affirmation of your prosperous identity in communion with the source. When you pray with authority, you declare that blocks are being removed and open doors are already part of your journey. This is where quiet courage speaks directly to circumstances and establishes divine order over financial chaos. To practice this, set aside a moment of silence, extend your hands, and declare that you are a channel of provision and that favor goes before you wherever you go. This is not empty repetition, but intentional sowing of words that create reality. As you do this, a deep peace settles in, because you know your voice aligns with higher purpose, activating channels of provision that were once invisible. As guidance for strengthening this practice, I recommend the Prayer of Jabez by Bruce Wilkinson, which focuses on enlargement and blessing. By adopting this posture of active faith, you position yourself to receive unexpected money and golden opportunities, acting with the firm gentleness of someone who knows the universe is working in their favor. Authority prayer turns the key that unlocks scarcity and releases hidden treasures into your life today. The way you talk to yourself when no one else is listening is what truly shapes your reality and your channels of provision. If your inner language is filled with phrases like "it's hard," "I can't," or "this isn't for me," you are unconsciously closing doors. Immediate narrative replacement is required, adopting vocabulary that reflects your prosperous identity and connection to the source, turning every mental dialogue into intentional sowing. Your micro-step today is becoming a vigilant observer of your thoughts, applying positive autosuggestion whenever doubt arises. When you catch inner criticism, interrupt it with authority and declare out loud, "I am an heir of divine favor, and my mind produces valuable ideas." This mental clarity exercise removes emotional clutter and makes space for serenity, allowing you to see the open doors already around you. A great reading recommendation to master this process is The Power of Hope, which explains how realistic optimism and positive speech alter brain chemistry. By adjusting your verbal frequency, you establish internal order that attracts unexpected money and new connections, because people are drawn to those who radiate peace. Remember, your words are the helm of your ship. Steer them toward abundance with firm gentleness and watch the scenery change. Your true wealth does not begin with your bank balance, but the moment you accept your prosperous identity as a settled fact. If you see yourself as limited, no amount of unexpected money will keep you there, because the subconscious always tries to return to what it considers normal. Understand this: you are a child of the source of all life, and unlimited provision is your natural environment, not a rare accident. To reinforce this, today's micro-step is acting as if you already possess the peace and security of someone whose bills are paid. This doesn't mean spending what you don't have, but adopting a posture of firm gentleness, taking care of your appearance, keeping your home in order, and speaking with the authority of someone who knows their worth. This concrete gesture signals to your mind that scarcity is no longer part of your DNA, opening the way for favor to manifest. One essential book for this shift is Self-Esteem as the Key to Prosperity by Nathaniel Branden. It shows that prosperity is an inside job. When your self-image rises, your channels of provision expand naturally. When your prosperous identity is solid, you don't beg for opportunities, you attract them with quiet courage, because open doors simply reflect who you've become inside. Your morning affirmations are like decrees signed in your mental workshop, establishing the reality you choose to live before your feet hit the floor. When you speak words of power, you're not just hoping something good happens, you're clearing channels of provision through narrative replacement. These declarations fuel your prosperous identity and protect your serenity from external chaos throughout the day. The secret is emotionally charged autosuggestion. You must feel the truth of what you're saying as an act of faith. Create a personalized list with phrases like, "I am a magnet for divine favor, and today I receive unexpected money with wisdom." Repeating this micro-step daily creates such strong mental order that your mind automatically begins searching for open doors that once went unnoticed. To deepen this practice, I recommend Scientific Healing Affirmations by Paramahansa Yogananda, which explains how vocal vibration influences consciousness and material reality. With persistence, you'll notice an increase in positive coincidences and unshakable peace. Remember, your mouth has the power to prophesy your destiny. Use it with firm gentleness to strengthen your alliance with abundance every day. Your prophetic testimony is anticipating victory through speech, declaring the harvest real before it's visible. When you express gratitude for provision on its way, you seal your alliance with abundance and encourage your mind to persevere. This is not denial of reality, but quiet courage that says, "Favor has reached me," turning inner language into an official announcement that the season of scarcity has ended. The concrete action here is writing your future testimony in a notebook, describing in detail how you feel seeing open doors and hidden treasures manifested. Reading it aloud practices high-level autosuggestion, allowing you to feel the peace of someone who has already received. This micro-step acts as a magnet for multiplication and prepares your emotional ground to honor every victory with purpose and integrity. For inspiration, I recommend The Fourth Dimension by David Yonggi Cho, which explores how incubated ideas and prophetic speech shape material reality. Acting with firm gentleness, you become living proof that a blessing without sorrow is available to those who believe and act. Let your testimony confirm that your prosperous identity is fully activated and prepare to be surprised by unexpected money and opportunities flowing naturally into your new reality. After walking through this journey of mental and spiritual transformation together, I ask you, what would tomorrow look like if you truly believe provision is already on its way? How would your posture change today if you were absolutely certain that open doors are the natural consequence of your new prosperous identity? Knowledge without application is just information. The micro-step you take now is what activates multiplication. From this point forward, accept nothing less than a blessing without sorrow and a peace of mind that governs your days. You have the tools, divine direction, and the capacity to turn your mental workshop into a magnet for opportunity. What will you do with the first 10 minutes of tomorrow morning? Choose serenity. Choose diligence. And get ready to harvest the hidden treasures that have always been waiting for you. If this message resonated with you and awakened that quiet courage to level up, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our mentoring sessions. Together, let's strengthen this alliance with abundance and build a future where unexpected money and favor are simply reflections of the incredible person you chose to become. I'll see you in the next video.